Hello again. This is going to be another one of those question and answer YouTubes. People leave a comment, and if I think it's an interesting question, asking me something, I think it's a good to answer. So, and I had a good one here, and if anybody else has any comments or any questions, feel free to go ahead and put them on there. I might get to them. I might not. I'm not too sure. I'm not going to say anybody's name in the comments. I won't be saying where this came from, but you can, if you read the comments, you might get an idea. Anyway, the question was, how do you deal with getting a reading wrong? And I thought that was a real good question. Because there's an impression here that I think if you're claiming to be psychic, that you're never wrong, and that everything you say is some prophecy, and if it's wrong, you're really not doing very good. And so I've been wrong lots of times. I make predictions, so I mean, like the weatherman makes predictions. 80% chance of rain. It's a prediction. Predictions are just that. They're predictions. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's what you're seeing or feeling that you feel that is probably what is going to happen. It seems to be going that direction. And that's what a prediction is. Now, yeah, if you're a professional, you want to have an average that's pretty good on your predictions. But to say you're never wrong, or what do you do when you are wrong? I think it's an issue. It's not an issue. I have study clients I've read for years that they'll do a reading and they'll say, "Oh, what you said, this didn't happen that way," but they're still for another reading. They know it could happen where it's not going to happen that way. Just because you made the prediction doesn't mean it's going to happen. So I'd say the best way to handle that is to just be human, be real. I'm here to help you find answers. I'm a reader. I make predictions. And yeah, lots of times they can be pretty impressive. I mean, if you do it enough, certain stuff's going to stick. And that's really what it is. But it doesn't mean that I'm something special. This is just what I do. And you can do it too. So be real. I do the best I can for you. And if your client knows that means a lot. And they'll get the impression that that's what it is with you just by the way they feel as they walk away from your table. Just be genuine. I don't have all the answers. I tell people that. But I do have a lot of answers. And the answers I have might be helpful to you. So that's a good way to look at it. Predictions are ideas. Any idea you have is a prediction. They haven't done it yet. And then, you have intuition comes into that too. So now you have what you might want to call critical and creative thinking together here. Critical thinking is a reasonable, feasible opinion of what's happening here based on facts. And then from there, you can go into a creative thinking, which is new ways of looking at this situation. And that's where your intuition starts to come in. But when you're getting creative and you're using creative thinking techniques, which is what a tarot reading is, you're opening up that intuitive side of your mind, the right brain. And the more you use it, the better it's going to get, the stronger it's going to get. But it's nice to have something to correct, to be intuitive about right from the beginning. And in order to do that, you have to look at the situation as a rational person and say, okay, is this feasible? Is this realistic? Are you basing things on something that makes sense here? And if not, what can we do to change it, to make it more realistic, to make it more real, to reachable to what you're trying to do? And that's where new ideas can come in. And that's creative. And like I said, intuition is to me, the way I feel intuition works is you can't just call it to you. I can't will intuition to come to me. I use the analogy of fishing. I can put a line in the water with bait and a nice lake somewhere that I know is the fish are biting. And I can throw that line in the water. And now I have to wait for the fish to come to me. Some days I might not have any bites at all. Other days I might be really hitting it. I have no control over that. Intuition works that way. With me, it does. And I really think it does with most people. You have to let intuition come to you. If you're intentionally trying to grab it, then you're using your rational side, your right brain, or I mean your left brain, left side of your brain. You're thinking about it, and that's not intuitive. You have to be accepting of it. You have to welcome it. And yeah, you could set up the situation on a table or in a room to help bring that about. But you can't control it to make it come like that. And some days it's going to be strong. Some days it's going to be weak. Some days you might not have it at all. You can still do a reading. It's and they might be very good readings. But as far as the intuition goes, might not be as strong. And that's okay. It can still be a good reading. So as long as that person sitting across from you knows that you're going to do the best you can, you're doing okay. And don't worry about willing intuition to you. And if a lot of people just starting out think, well, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. Well, that's, yeah, you won't be able to do that. But if you are open to it coming to you, you will find it does come. And when it's there, you'll be ready to take it. So intuition can be very, it takes a little time to get the feel of what intuitive feeling is. And sometimes it's like I said, sometimes that's a very strong feeling. And other times it's just misty. And other times it might not be there at all. And that's why I would be leery. I don't want to say leery, but I would question, at least a little bit, people that are going to give you the winning lottery numbers. You know, you can't will intuition to come to you. I can't just pick this week's drawings. And if I could, why would I be giving that information to you? I would be taking it myself. That's all. But if you're a reader, you can't go wrong. You're buying a ticket. I'm telling you these numbers, what I'm seeing. So if it does come through, you're probably going to remember me as the person who gave you those numbers, and you're probably going to give me a little something for that. I don't see how intuition works with anything that's not a feeling. And that type of thing, winning lottery numbers, is not a feeling, it's information. And I don't, it doesn't work that way with me. I will say that Linda, I don't know, because she surprises me sometimes. She's probably the most psychic person I've ever known. And as far as just a plain psychic. And she actually, one, I will say, I mentioned this once before on another YouTube, but I'll say it again. She did call me. She was doing a fair in Wisconsin. I wasn't there at that fair. I was still in Chicago. And she was going like probably from a Thursday to a Sunday, some festival up there. And she called me up on a Saturday morning and said, I want you to play these lottery numbers. She said, they won't leave my head. I can't get them out of my head. Now, you got to remember, Linda and I don't play the lottery. We don't bother with it. So for her to say you got to play these numbers was really strange. She says, I don't know what it is. She said, they just won't leave. And so it's a quick pick. It was a three numbers. And she says, play them for tonight's drawing, for Saturday's drawing. Well, if I wouldn't have, I was tempted not to play them. I was tempted to just say, yeah, I played them, yeah. But I thought, no, I better play them because just in case these things come through, and so I played them both ways, how the place and the order and just, or as a set, whatever you call it. And I don't remember what the numbers were, but if you have them in the same order that they were drawn, it's a lot. If you got a ticket for that, it's a lot more money than if you just have the three numbers. So I played it both ways. And the drawing is on television at 7:00 that night. She called me. She said, play those numbers. And she says, and watch tonight. She wasn't going to be near a TV. She says, watch to see if they come true. I'll be wanting to know. So I played them. And let's just say the numbers were 3, 18, and 36, just to have something for the conversation. So I bought the numbers and I turn on the TV, and tonight's lottery numbers are, and it shows them pulling the numbers. First number, 3. I thought, oh, that's neat, the same number she hit. Second number, 18. Now I'm looking, I'm thinking, she's going to do this. She got 3, 18, and 36. The first two numbers are right there in order, 3 and 18. And I thought for sure she had it. Then the third number, 46 or something. The third number was wrong. She didn't have it correct. But I was looking at this drawing and I'm watching this drawing. I'm thinking before they even drew the third number, I'm thinking, we won. She's got this. She knew this. And then the third number was wrong. But the fact that she had that intuition, that premonition drilling in her head for some reason, made me wonder. So she didn't get it, but she was very close. And with me, it's got to come to me. I can't will it to come. I would say if I were to ask her, she probably would say, yeah, it's got to come to you. And those numbers were coming to her for some reason. She wasn't looking to play the lottery. We don't play the lottery. So it wasn't like she was thinking, what's tonight's numbers going to be? No, she's, but these were coming to her full tilt. And so it's an interesting story about intuition. and lottery numbers. And so is it possible? Maybe it is, but yeah, I don't believe it is. I think it's just luck. And intuition's got to come to you. So how do I deal with getting a reading wrong? I shrug it off, just like if I was a professional baseball player and I struck out at the plate, it's going to happen. But if I got a good average, I'm happy. It's not going to, every time I go do a reading isn't going to be some profound thing. But I am a person who's welcome to that to come. And I know the tarot and I know how to do a reading. So who knows what you sit across from me? We don't know what we're going to get. It won't be the winning lottery numbers. But yes, readings don't have to necessarily be correct. But if you're a professional reader, you want to have, you want to hear that you have a high average. So being honest, being real, be real. That's what's important. I'm here to do the best I can for you. We'll see how it goes. Being real is better than being real is important. So that's how I handle it. Keep throwing cards. We'll talk soon. Bye.